Parents as Teachers really put early childhood education on the map. You really can make a difference in the education of a child for a lifetime because about half of a child's learning intelligence develops by the time that child is 3 years old.
Well, there's a long list of things that Kit Bond has led on that people in our state and around the country have reason to be grateful for. His commitment to national security as a longtime member of the Intelligence Committee, his commitment to transportation, to economic opportunity. But I think, at least certainly as governor, Kit's unusual focus on education at every level, trying to make education better and work better, to the point that he was so focused on education, in many ways, he created a new kind of government partnership with education from the very start. Parents as teachers, those first teaching moments for kids, and a partnership with government, if you wanted it, that can help you make that work in the best possible way. From 4 pilot school districts in 1981 to legislation in 1984 that required every school district in our state to have a Parents as Teachers opportunity for parents that wanted it, to now Parents as Teachers structures in 50 states. Kit Bond's idea, the determination of the National Center for Early Childhood for Parent Education in St. Louis, and with great thanks to them and great thanks to Kit Bond, many families and many kids have had different experience over the last 4 decades than they would have had without Parents as Teachers and without Kit Bond.
Well, I took the story of Parents as Teachers to Washington to enlist national political leaders of both parties in saying, hey, early childhood education begins at home. Parents as Teachers, or that home visitation model, is something we should pursue.
The bill I am going to introduce soon in Washington, it's called Education Begins at Home Act, makes a bold federal investment in parents by establishing the first dedicated federal funding stream to support the expansion of Parents as Teachers at the state and local level. 10 times more families will be served by PAT under this legislation. The funding will allow states to take Parents as Teachers to the next level, reaching even more families and providing even more intensive services to all families, especially those families with high needs.
I'm delighted to join this tribute to Kit Bond. I had the great honor of working with Kit in the United States Senate. What an effective senator. And I know also what an effective governor he was for the state of Missouri. When I was contemplating whether I would run for governor of Idaho or seek re-election in the United States Senate, there were a few people that I went to that had served as governor prior to being senator. And I wanted to ask them, what's your opinion? Does one seek to stay in the United States Senate, or do you seek the office of governor? Kit was very forthright and immediate. He said, let me tell you something, friend. If you can be the CEO of your state and you can go home and run things, get out of here. Go do it. But he said, here's one caveat, and that is, I think you win. And one of the first things you need to do is to make sure you put Parents as Teachers in your state, because it will dramatically help families throughout your state. While I served with Kit in the Senate, I got to know his son, Sam. It wasn't until some years later that I realized that Kit had enrolled Sam in Parents as Teachers. And it really kind of guided Kit on his advocacy and all the great things he's done for young families. I know also that when he was governor, his influence in 1984 through the Missouri General Assembly really created the act that then put Parents as Teachers statewide throughout the wonderful state of Missouri. From those days, you now have the FACT, Parents as Teachers, of which I'm very proud that my wife Patricia was chair of that for 2 years. But it's now in all 50 states. It's in 115 tribal communities. It's in 5 other countries, and it's growing because young families, this is the first time for them to have that new Bambino, and to make sure that the parents are the teachers for those kids and to get a little bit of coaching. I mean, what could be better?
The best investment in education is not remedial education at the college level, but it's putting that money in early to make sure the child starts learning at the earliest stages. And that makes it a lot easier. The parents and the teachers and the outcomes of the child are so much better if they've had a good start.
Kit, this wouldn't have happened without you. On behalf of grateful parents, grateful kids who are now having their own experience as being their kid's first teacher, thanks for everything you've done.
My friend, congratulations for this tribute which is being paid to you tonight. Thank you for your friendship. Thank you for helping young families throughout the United States of America through your advocacy of parents as teachers, through your vocal encouragement of parents as teachers, and all you have done. So Missouri has one of the great icons is Kit Bond, and you're it, my friend. And to parents as teachers, bless you for what you're doing and what you mean for young families everywhere.
Looking back, I still consider taking parents as teachers statewide as one of the proudest accomplishments as governor.